Okay.
All right. So, it has been a while since I promised that we'd be doing this, but it's finally about damn time that we delivered on doing a weapons tier list for this goddamn map.
So we're going to be particularly focusing on Black Ops 1 on the 5 map. I say that because there also is a Black Ops 3 remake of 5. This is exclusively going to be considering only the original Black Ops on 5.
Yeah, so no other maps that, like, as you can see, we don't have all the wonder weapons listed here. Maybe I'll add that, it's like a different thing, but for right now we're just focusing on 5. When this video drops, you guys will be able to make your own tier list with this. So this took a lot of time to make. Like getting all these weapon graphics, like I had to crop some of these out, like the perks, for example, the power, and adding PAP to all of these, because yeah, we are going to be actually ranking the pack punch versions differently than the regular pickup versions of these weapons.
And this is a sided tier list to pretty much just high rounds. No perfect rounds, no first room only rounds, no power up rounds. Strictly high round.
Yep, so you're gonna see some pretty strange stuff. If you're used to those rounds, obviously the game's gonna be a bit different, but this is just our general focus, what we generally play, so.
Feel free to leave any suggestions.
Of course. we'll see what we can do with those suggestions. But first off, starting pistol. Where would you put the starting pistol, Doc?
So I would put the starting pistol as an A tier weapon, mostly because it stays viable until at least wave 8. Second reason being, there's a fantastic feature where if you hold down the trigger button, you are able to knife faster.
It's a very strong weapon. You get the starting ammo. Like, you don't have to pay for it. That's the big thing with it. It's the first thing it's the first weapon you get, and it kind of holds its own. Like compared to the weapons of the other weapons in the first room, it's just you don't really need them. Pistol does everything.
Right, it's a points gun, and if you get lucky and get a power up on the third wave, most times it's pretty useful and can give you a lot more points with the starting pistol.
Also, one of those starting room weapons doesn't have a headshot bonus, but we can get to that when we get to that real soon. So, yeah, you pay 500, you get a worse weapon than your starting pistol. The one thing that I don't like about the starting pistol, like this goes for the Mustang and Sally variant as well, is that because it's your starting weapon, you can't actually get it back. Like you can't get it back, and you can't like have it in a different slot. So like, there's just been times where I was playing the game, and it's just like, I really would prefer to have my Mustang and Sally or pistol in the Mule Kick slot, but I can't move it. So that's my one real big negative against it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like, it does its job. I think it's just a solid A tier weapon. There's really nothing bad you can say about it. So, put that in A. Starting knife.
Starting knife. Again, I would put it in the B tier list because it is good, but considering that it kind of falls off after like wave 5, I would say it's good. It gets you points, but after wave 5 to 8 around those, it's kind of just gonna be there to if you just want to slice something, but it will be pretty tough to use after wave 8.
Doesn't get headshot bonuses, obviously, like the same as the pistol. You do have the pistol knifing glitch associated with it. I'll be honest, I think it's better off in D, because it's just like, there's nothing like really, like once you get past the first starting rounds, it just becomes useless.
I could agree with that. Yeah.
So
it requires perks for it to be more viable after wave 8. Yeah, so I would agree with that.
So let's get that in D. Frag Grenade.
I would put that in F. I say that because the Frag Grenade is pretty useless. Cool, you can get a little explosive, but in the long run, it's not going to do much for you. I mean, if you want to say, oh, well, in the first room between wave 4 and 6, it's pretty viable to do stuff. that's the only time you're probably ever gonna use these grenades, if you use them at all.
I would say I would probably put it just above. I'll be honest, I'd probably just put it just above the knife, or maybe in the same tier as a knife. My thing is with the frag grenades is that you get 2 more of them each round, so, and they are a projectile weapon, so it is something that can actually be used later on in the later rounds.
I see your point, but I disagree. I feel it's pretty useless. But I think a fair in between would probably be E.
Yeah, I think that works. E can work right now, so that works out. All right, M14.
Oh, that's tough.
Like this is where the no power, like you'd be putting this at like the top and no power, I believe. Like no, sorry, in first room you'd be putting this in top.
Yeah, you know, if this is the first room shot, of course, it's kind of mandatory, but it's kind of useless. I mean, it's not. I never use it.
I think the headshot bonus for it is higher than the pistol, which is kind of nice.
To be fair, one thing I would say about this ranking, this is more for skilled players, so I wouldn't say like, oh, you know, if you grab it, it's a good gun, because once you kind of have the skill, it's probably something you're not going to use. I'm between E and F because it's not useless, but it's not really going to be the go-to gun.
It also, the location for it is also, I think it's got it's not the best location on the first floor. But, you know, I don't think it spawns in a bad location either. I think that should be accounted for. It's like not really, it's not in a cramped spot. It's not a weapon that's complete doo-doo tier. So I think it goes less than the grenade. Like it's in the same tier, but I would put the grenade slightly over it.
I can agree with that because it's not a useless weapon by any means. So it doesn't deserve to be anything lower than that. Oh boy, this gun. I think
we are gonna have some fun talking about this weapon for sure.
I think putting this in the pink poop tier is doing it a really, really, really nice service. It doesn't even deserve that. That's how utterly bad it is.
We have so many stories of people just picking up this gun, and it's just like it's a great indicator for that person not knowing what they're doing.
Yeah, there's just nothing worse than this gun. It's a 2-shooter.
Well, no, there are worse things. And actually, I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit, just because the PAP version is worse.
Oh yes.
Because like
we can get that out of the way right now. They're both terrible. The PAP version, I think the keyword to it being worse is you pay $5,000 to even get one.
You pay $5,000 for a shitty weapon.
And I don't think it's ideal to use this as a Pentagon Thief power-up where you're using it for Bonfire Sale, where you pay AK to PAP it. I get that's a possibility, but even at $1,000, it's useless.
And then when you need ammo for this, and when you need ammo for the Pack-a-Punch version, you gotta pay $5,000 again.
And you won't make that money back. That gun's that bad.
Yeah.
It is. Again, I think it's so bad it deserves its own lower tier. That's how bad it is. Poop is like doing it too much of a service.
Nah, we got some other real stinkers going on coming up, but you know, it's that bad.
Really bad.
So we can just put this here, and we can just not talk about it.
It is a really good gun. It is the only viable gun you will have later on. It's a very surprising rank. I know people will be like, an MPL is not that great. It is the only way you will survive past, I would say, wave 35. Especially with the strategy of going to the first floor and running around. It is the only gun you are going to be able to use. It is always good. It doesn't fall off.
There's one other there are like 2 or 3 other guns in the same tier as it, like, but you know, this is your money gun, your cash money, your wallet. Like this is how you fill up the electric tank. So easy S tier. Like even just outside of that too, it's just a good gun. It gets headshot. It has a pretty decent headshot bonus. Like it's the same as the pistol. The ammo count isn't that bad. The fire rate, it's just perfect. It's just perfect.
All around fantastic gun, and just consider the fact that your ammo reload is gonna be 500.
Also, the spawn spot is just again perfect as well. It's right next to one of the traps, so
It's just well placed. It's a fantastic place for it to be.
it is the goat. So, all right, this is the MP5. So,
The MP5. I would give it a solid C tier. It's a good gun. It has good strats. It is the strat that it's mainly used for is the reason why I would give it a C tier.
you mean like the window strap on the top there?
Yep.
But I don't think it gets to C. I would maybe put it in D tier just because once you're done with that strat, it's like you have to go like take a massive risk, and you're only taking that massive risk to get that gun if you're out of ammo.
You know what? I actually agree with that. I think maybe I was giving a bit too much of a high praise. I do agree with that.
It's not a bad gun. If it wasn't, it's like we'll talk about this with the gun after it because it applies heavily to the gun after it. But it's just not in a great spot. And that kind of neuters its ability to be used later on in the game. PM63.
Same. Right next to each other.
No. F tier. Just because of its spawn spots.
You know what? Its spawn pod is not great. It has low ammo count.
It also has a very high rate of fire.
Yeah, it sprays pretty fast, which does cause it to lose ammo fast. Yeah, I would.
It's like you gotta remember, it's like right by the that one annoying DEFCON switch. It's like very close to it.
You know what? I agree with this.
It's like, when are you gonna? If you're not going for the MP5K, you're sure as hell not going for that.
I can agree with this.
All right, so, AK74.
I would put this in C tier. Yeah, I'd put this in C tier, the very bottom of C tier, mainly because it is a good gun. On the higher rounds, like between wave 20 and 30, I would say it's very usable, especially if you're running the Pagan strat. So I would put this gun up there on C. It's pretty good. It will do damage. It does stay relevant for a long time from when you first get down there. Pretty good gun.
I would maybe put it in B tier because there's some other there's we got the next two guns kind of apply to this where like once you get what you said applies to them as well, but I think this is the best one out of both of those.
Yeah, comes with full auto. Weapon ammo is pretty cheap, being at 500 again. Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Stakeout. This is the best shotgun on the map by far.
Yeah, I would put it in. I'd put it in the E tier. It is a good shotgun, but that doesn't make it a good weapon.
My thing is that you can actually get away with running cranes on where it spawns. It has a really good spawn, and that little area outside the between the elevator and the teleporter, you have enough room to run trains there.
I agree with that, but I still wouldn't put it above the knife and the MP5. I would say it's a solid D tier. Solid E tier like you have here, mostly because it's just above better than the grade of the M14. And also really consider it's very situational that you're going to use that strat.
Well, here's the thing. If you were using that strategy, what would you rather be using? The MP5 or the Stakeout?
Neither, honestly.
If you had to pick between them, just to have some amount of points gun.
The MP5. The MP5.
Can we make a happy cap compromise and just put it just below the MP5 in that tier?
I really want to stick to my guns on this one with it being in the E tier. It is that bad. It is a shotgun. Just remember, it is a shotgun.
You don't get headshot point bonuses, I know that, but it's like the MP5 when like you're running up to get ammo for that thing, like that's a huge risk. If the stakeout doesn't have that, you're just running around. Oh, I'm out of ammo. It's got to take like a very slight lean to the left. Oh, I'm good.
Yeah, but it also will fall much faster than MP5s, just considering the points it won't gather for you. You also got to consider points are relevant, and when you get to a point when you need this gun, points will be pretty well relevant. So you got to really consider that factor as well.
I just don't like that the grenade is in the same tier as it. I bump down the grenade.
I would bump down the grenade, but I would definitely keep the shotgun in the E tier.
Alright, so
Strictly E tier.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it's definitely better than M14, but that's all I'll give it.
Maybe this looks better as far as like weapon placements. PM63.
I would keep the PM63 in the F tier. It's not that bad of a gun. It has a viable strat.
It's just once you get past that, like, when are you using it?
Yeah, but we got to consider with most of these, it is useful for when you're going to need it. Can I agree with you? It's useless once you don't need it, but for considering where you're going to use this gun, it will serve its purpose.
Okay, alright. I'll let that slide. I'll let that one slide.
Yeah.
I don't agree, but I'll concede. M16. This is just a regular M16, not Pack-a-Punch.
Personally, I love this gun. S tier. It's really nice. I would say it's definitely, yeah. There's a fair rating for it. My bias to it, I like it a lot. It got me through a lot of tough times in the pig room.
It kept you from being depressed.
Yes, exactly.
Like that feel when no round 36.
Totally feel like a Marine with my M16 once I have this gun. No, but definitely it's probably A tier at best.
Yeah,
A tier at best.
I'm thinking the same. Like, where would you put it above or below the pistol though?
You know what? Just because it can kind of get headshots to kill, I would put it above the pistol.
Yeah,
and I'm talking like headshot kills in the higher rounds, like 20 and above.
Yeah, because it's actually doing something in that range.
And you can attest to that. You've seen it do something.
Yes. So, all right, Bowie Knife.
I would almost give it an S tier. I'm between an SS tier and an S tier just for how good it is. A very high A tier if you want to put A tier.
I think it's here.
I can agree with that. It's a really good knife. It does a lot of damage. Just to let you know, folks, from wave 6 to 10, it is pretty much like having an instant kill using that knife. It is that good. It is a one-shotter.
And if you're smart with your pistol shots, which is why the pistol is like again in A tier, you can get a lot of points. You can use penetrations to get a lot of points, and knife to get knife the maximum. You can use penetrations to damage the zombies as much as you can, and then you can use the knife to maximize your points. So, very strong weapon. That's why we always try to bum rush it, just so that just so that we can be clear for the box early on. Just a great weapon.
It's a fantastic weapon, and you gotta consider that purchasable. You don't have to get it from the box or anything. Fantastic weapon. I believe up until wave 20, it's a 2-shotter. I think after every 10 wave increments, it becomes that amount of hits. So 1 through 10 will be 1 hit, 10 through 20 will be 2 hits, 20 through 30 I think will be 3 hits, or I could be wrong. I think it goes to like 5 rounds after the first.
I believe after round 16 it becomes 3.
Yeah, so I think it changes it a bit, but it is really good. It does get the job done. It is an instant kill wave 1 through 10.
So that's a good spot for it. All right, Claymore.
I would put Claymore as an A tier, just between the just under the pistol. Considering what it's used for and how good it is,
you would be more knowledgeable on this than me because I don't need. Well, I have some. You can talk more.
So this is a really good way to keep your little safe space in the pig room. This Claymore will definitely be your saving grace if you get to those high round 20 through 30s, where if you place this by the window to the side where the cages are, it is really good. You run to that window and you need to jump out that window, the zombies that follow you to that window, before they can even swarm you, they will blow up from the Claymores. As long as you place them correctly, just a bit further away behind the window, they are fantastic. Consider it like your little invisible wall.
So, I got two other things to add to that. First, like the grenade, you just get 2 more of them each round, so that's kind of nice. Second thing is that if for some ungodly reason you're stuck with like a very heavy weapon, like something with more movement speed, you can just switch to this and you'll be running it, and you have the weapon with the fastest movement speed in the game.
And if you look at our recent, at the current recent,
2025, May. Yep.
I would say we got to round 28 or 32, I don't remember, but those Claymores held up. We had the door open and the zombies running after me weren't able to hit me for quite a while, and we were at 28, so it definitely holds its weight.
Like, you got the movement speed, you got the... It's also just really still damaging. Like, it's kind of surprising just how, like, the damage, like, does to the zombies still later on in the game. I think low A is fun. It's just... You just don't get enough of them.
They are perfect, and they replenish every round, and make sure you're using them every round.
Can we just not talk about where this goes and just, like, save some time?
Oh, that's totally double S tier. Without a doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
That thing is
Even above this.
that thing is the reason you won't need quick revive. That thing is that will save your runs. That will be the reason why you will end the run or continue on to a new run.
Yep. So double S. All right. Now that we got past that, onto the box weapons. Single CZ.
I would give that a solid D. It gets you points. It's pretty useful. And yeah, you can use it in the highways. It will still kill in the highways. I don't recommend using it in the highways, but if you're skilled and it's the only weapon you get out of the box and you kind of need the points, it'll get you those points.
It does have a headshot bonus attached to it.
Keep in mind I'm very I don't know what the word is for it, but I'm
very unlikely that you're gonna get it from the box, and it's not like a consistent weapon.
I have a bias in the pig room. Most of these weapons out of the box, you just gotta picture me using this in the pig room. I'm very biased towards these weapons being functional in the pig room, and this is one of them.
So, the dual variant. I think that this goes in E tier. I think it's worse than the single, if I'm being honest.
I would put it in the same tier because, for me, well, again, I'm really biased to the big one, but for me, the way I use that weapon once it gets those dual wielding situation going on, I just shoot off the left weapon, and when that needs to reload, I shoot the right weapon. Consider the one good thing about this weapon is that when one's reloading, the other one can still be used to shoot.
My problem is that you're not able to maximize on the on headshots and aiming. Like, I know it sounds like impossible to do it at higher rounds, but you should be trying. You should be trying to maximize every single point. So
I agree with that, but this is the weapon that if you are at 0 points, it's the only thing that you can get out of the box. Well, you're not getting out of the box, but it's the only thing you're able to pap. It is pretty good. I agree with you, it does pull off, considering the fact that you can't get points with it. But it's not the worst thing.
It's not the worst. Python.
Ooh, that goes to poop tier. It is bad.
I don't think it goes to poop tier, but I definitely think it's like...
You know what? I would give it G tier, and the only reason I wouldn't even give it that, I would give it G tier. The one reason I give it G tier, if you are somehow using the box at wave 4 or 5, somehow get down there at that point, you pick up this weapon. It is a one shooter until I think round 8. So I will give it just above poop, just for the sole fact that it is a one-shotter. That is the only reason I will give anything to it.
It's got a low ammo count and reload is bad. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Entirely?
Yep.
Oh yes, that goes into poop tier.
Oh, now, here's the question. Is it worse than these two?
You know why I will say it is worse? It is the grenade launcher that's not viable. At least the shotguns are bad because they're 2-shotters. Why is the grenade launcher not viable?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, I can get down with that. Regular crossbow.
I think that's a fair... Yep, we have it there. E tier is fair.
I kind of want to put it here.
I have no wherever you want to put it. I have no like you can go wherever.
I don't want to rate it higher because of what it can become, and also that the reload time, the time between when it actually explodes, and the weight, the weapon movement speed. It's better. I'll put it above the grenade.
I would say it's a better grenade because it has a bit more of an accuracy and it's more consistent with blowing up when you want to.
It's a better grenade, but I ain't like saying anything.
Yeah. I'll give. Yep, this is where you have it.
Regular rocket launcher.
Oh, I would put that in the A tier because of the damage it still does.
It's very strong.
Yes. Very low A tier, but it still does damage even as a one-shotter.
Now, we are probably gonna. Now, this is the weapon that we're probably gonna have to do a bit of explaining on, because if you play like any Call of Duty game, like just regular Call of Duty, like multiplayer, even like you'll be like a rocket launcher being good in any of these games. It's like, no, this is actually a good weapon. Very good.
Oh yes. Really good at A. The only reason why it gets A non-PAP is because the walk speed is slow and there's only one in the chamber. I understand rockets are made to be one in the chamber. I understand that.
You'll understand why the one in the chamber thing if you're new to this when we get to the PAP rocket launcher.
The also downside to it only comes with 19 rockets. Not a bad weapon. Use it sparingly when it's not PAP.
You are probably going to need to carry around the Claymore though, like when you're using it. If you're like running around the map.
They go side and side. They are each other's best friend. They will benefit the other.
Alright, so ballistic. Let's start with the regular ballistic knife.
You know what? That's fair because it's still.
I'm just moving it to see just so I can scroll up a little bit.
Actually, no. That's a regular ballistic knife.
Yes, regular ballistic knife.
I would put the.
We got a couple of variants of this on the tier list. So.
Yeah, there's a couple. I would put that above the regular knife. And the only reason I put it above the regular knife, it does double the damage. That's the only reason. Other than that, it does nothing.
It's also faster.
Yeah.
And you do have the projectile, which it's something.
It's silly, but it will do something when you get your Insta Kill round.
It's a slightly more relevant option that it has over the regular knife.
And if you want to giggle a bit, and if you do have like the time for it, if you're on an instant kill situation, you can shoot those projectiles at the zombies; they will die instantly. And on top of that, you can pick them back up. So I'll give it that. You can pick them back up.
With the ballistic knife.
Is it the Bowie ballistic knife?
Sorry. It's the Bowie and the ballistic knife.
Okay. I would give that a C tier. It is really good. It is better than the Bowie knife. It gets double the damage the Bowie knife does. It's really good. I'd even give it B tier. It's a really good weapon.
I think I'm okay with C just because we got more variants of this coming up. So.
Oh gosh, a lot of Bowie, a lot of knife variants, a lot of what's it called again? A lot of
ballistic knife variants.
A lot of ballistic knife variants.
Yep. So, alright.
Oh boy, that is a top tier poop gun. That is number one on the poop gun list. It is the best of the poop guns.
Now, I don't think it's the best. I think it's above these three. I don't think it's better than the Olympia, the regular Olympia, just because you can get more ammo for the regular Olympia. Like when this runs out, you have to just, like you have to actually find something else to use.
You know what? I agree with that. The only reason the shotgun's better is because you can actually consistently buy more ammo.
Like if for some godforsaken, well, you can actually, yeah. I think it's slightly better. Like there's gonna be situations where you just there's more situations where you'll be stuck having to buy Olympia ammo over, running to get this. So, this is the LAW 2000. This is the sniper rifle.
In the poop list.
Yeah.
I agree with where you're putting it only because actually no. You know what? Realistically, nobody should use this in any shot ever, no matter what wave you're on. I would put it at the bottom of the poop list. No, I put at the bottom. The snipers are forbidden. There is never going to be a situation where you see a sniper out of that box. It's going to be, yep, give it to me, I'll use it.
I think it's bad, but it's like, but like this, you have to actually pay 5,000 for, and you're paying 5,000 to pack a punch a bad weapon.
Yeah, but you will use it. You will not ever use the sniper. It is something that you will never touch. It would honestly make zero difference if it didn't come in the box at all.
Okay.
That's how bad they are.
I'll concede that.
I would say that with both snipers. So I will just really quickly put both snipers in there.
Yeah, I'll
Now, when I say snipers, I'm talking about the SVD, even their PAP variants.
The Juggernog, yeah.
Yeah, the Juggernog for the SVD. The PAP variants as well, just to save a bit of time, and also considering that you'll never get to a point where you PAP them because you shouldn't be getting them in the first place.
Like these, like we're not putting them on in any specific order, so yeah.
Like yes, they do damage. Yes, they will do damage, PAP, but you gotta understand that you decided to pick a sniper rifle out of the box to begin with, which it's not viable. It's never viable. There's never a time where it's good. Even if you're using it at the low rounds, by the time you have the access, the means to access that box, you are better off getting a low weapon than picking that up.
Oh, now we're gonna get into two of the most fun weapons to talk about for like newcomers. Like, and this includes like. We used to think these two weapons coming up were like the hot shit. So we're guilty of this.
Yeah, I think every zombies player thought that, oh gosh, this is the holy grail of weapons.
So it's the HK21 and the RPK. These are the LMGs, or the big fucking machine guns.
Good guns. They get the job done. Really viable for a long time. I think everyone will agree with you.
They're good, but this is probably where I would, yeah.
I would put both LMGs at the bottom of the A tier. I would put the HK in front of the RPK.
Now that's an interesting debate. Why the HK over the RPK?
No one understands this, but the HK has more ammo, and that means more points. Everyone prefers to take the RPK. It is a good gun, but the HK gives you more points. And when you're getting any of the LMGs, you should be looking at that gun as, this is my way to make points. This is a perfect Mule Kick gun, if you get to that point with it. Or even if you have it as your regular gun, it is your points gun. It is only going to be strictly used to get you points. The reason why it's not...
I do want to interject, like, I maybe think we should just move these down to the top of B tier. Just for emphasis sake, on why these other weapons are above it.
Okay, I can agree with that. I would definitely make the H, top of B, yeah.
Because it's like, these weapons are good up until round 25.
You know what, I would put the AK, I know this is a controversial thing, I put the AK in front of them just because the AK can be repurchased. That one can be repurchased for the AK.
That's another thing too. It's like once you're out of ammo with these things, you're out. And oh no, if I don't have a Claymore, I'm slow as shit.
yeah, I would put the AK above it, just considering the fact that one can be replenished and the other two cannot.
Again, like if you're new to this, you're gonna say, well, rocket launcher is the same thing. It doesn't have as much ammo. It's just like, if you know, you know.
It does damage,
and you'll understand why it's getting a little bit carried by its pack-a-punch variant. But it's like you're better off getting this in the long run over these two. All right, so Spaz.
All shotguns are poop. Sorry.
It's yeah.
You know what? The Spaz has a special place of being at the bottom of G tier, only because it does its job when you get it.
Yeah, and I think bottom of B tier is where these two are gonna go. Like, sorry, I said B. G tier, because like this thing, it gets a headshot bonus. These don't. So yeah. FN fail.
Yeah, it's the worst version of the M14, just considering that the M14 is purchasable on a wall and the FN fail is not.
FN fail has more ammo, does more damage. I think the recoil on it is a little bit less than the M14, but...
The biggest problem, it's in the box.
Yep.
If it was a wall gun, it'd definitely be a more viable gun.
All right, the G11. I had a story with this one. I've seen like this gun is just so fucking stupid. Like this and the WA 20 are like the oddest inclusions in this game, like in the Spectre. But G11, where am I putting this?
I would put it just above the stake. I would put it at the top of E list. Mostly because it is a scope and it also does get kills and it will get you headshot damage.
I don't know, man. I want to defend the Stakeout. Like it was putting in work when I had it the last time we played.
Yeah, but the one thing you gotta consider, you can stand in the corner and kind of aim partway with the.
Until you don't, and then the G11, and then you run out with the G11, and then oh no, I have to, make a choice between getting another wall weapon or a box.
You know what? I can agree with this. It's not the best. It gets the job done, but that's all. Yeah, I agree with this actually.
Commando.
That is a solid. I would give it a solid B, just below the LMGs. Actually, yeah, I would put it above the LMGs because of its reload capability.
You reload it faster. It's you move faster with it.
And it's a points gun. It's gonna get you points. It is almost the one. It is the poster child of guns we will recommend you get when you need points.
If the box just gives you this, and you have just like jack shit, and you're like broke, and you're like begging for money, this is the gun.
Fantastic gun.
Well, this is the gun. This is the second gun, which I should say. We're gonna get to the other. We're gonna get to the other two in a second, but we gotta talk about this.
Is it the FAMAS? Top of poop list. Sorry, it's a bad gun.
I don't think it's top of poop list, but like I think it's doing more than the stupid shotguns.
I can agree with this. Just want to clarify something. I think it's on G and poop. We're just kind of based it on the fact that they're guns that function, but G and poop will be guns that I will tell you that you will never catch us using, unless we make a funny video just to use bad guns.
Or just like everyone has 0 points and like the only thing we can get is one of these things.
Yeah, but anything on the G and poop list are guns we will absolutely never use. Like very, very probably have a better chance of hitting the lottery.
Alright, so AUG.
It's not a bad weapon.
I think the AUG is awesome.
Yeah. Not a bad weapon. I would give it that weird C tier. Mostly because just below the knife. It's a good gun. It will get your kills. It will get your headshots. It is a better G11.
My one problem with this, and this goes for the G11 as well, is just the aim down the sights thing. It's like it takes when you're trying to aim down sights, it takes forever to actually get to the reticle. It's just like I don't know if we hit firing this thing forever, man. So I think bottom C is fine.
Yeah, that's the one setback, but other than that, it's pretty good. It will get you points.
Now we do have. Now it does say wonder weapons, but I actually do want to get to this one first. This is the Galil. I think we agree. We both are gonna agree that this is where it should go. So it's fine. You're good. You're good, man. Okay. But yeah, Galil. The Galil, B or A?
A. It was a good gun.
It is the best machine gun.
Fantastic aim down sights. Good reload speed. The ammo count is wonderful. The ammo in it is wonderful. 35 bullets is wonderful. It's a good gun. It does its job well. It will get you points. It is probably the easiest gun to get headshots with. The aim down sights are fantastic. It's a big enough circle where you can just aim that zombie's head in.
You know what? I'm gonna be controversial and maybe suggest this. I think it might need to go one spot left.
I would put it above the Claymore if that's what you feel. It is good.
I don't think it's above the Claymore, but I think you could probably have more use cases where ignoring this thing's like pack-a-punch variants, like there's probably more use cases where you can use this to get out of sticky situations.
Yeah, Just remember, keep it below wave 25. After wave 25, it still works, but it just don't depend on it.
Yeah. This is. What is it above the M16 though?
No, because M16 can be purchased with the wall, and you don't lose it, and it's a guaranteed always pickup.
That's true. All right, so, ray gun. Ooh, I think we can just make this simple and just put it into S tier.
Yeah, I agree with that. The non-PAP ray gun is good. It does fall off eventually, so.
Also, the splash damage on it compared to like the PAP version is just ridiculously high.
Yeah, so, I agree with that. It's a good gun. It will get its points.
It does everything that you expect it to do.
Yep.
So, now we got the frost gun.
We found a new discovery with it. Well, no, I don't know if it's new, but new to us. It's wonderful clearing the fog. I almost want to consider it the equivalent of using the froster on your car when the windows are fogged up. That's kind of its use for us. It's also good at getting us out of like semi-sticky situations, but in the lower waves. Like if we're in wave 20 to 25, it's good. But once we get into the 30s, it's pretty much just the way we use to crowd the smoke from the other weapons that we'll be using.
Yeah, like when you fire the rocket launcher and then you shoot this right after, it just clears it all the way. Like it's crazy. It's like, oh, it's like, why is that useful? And it's like, if you're running trains and you can't see where you're going, that's why it's useful.
It's wonderful. And it's pretty friendly to new users.
Like, you don't have to aim it. It just does what it does. Okay, now where do we put it, though? That's the question.
I would give it top of B tier or bottom of A tier. I'm kind of iffy on that.
I think B is fine.
Yeah, top of B tier. It's a good gun.
Maybe below this.
I put it at the top of B tier because it is a wonder weapon. I'll give it that.
Alright.
It's a wonder weapon.
Yeah. Go with that. I'm actually going to move this to the back. This is actually Death Machine. I don't know why it's ordered like this. So, yeah. Next thing, we're going to be ranking the perk. The Perk-a-Colas, starting with the double tap.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Maybe here.
So the reason why we say it's a bad perk, it will destroy your ammo, especially if you're pairing it with the HK and RPK. Yes, it is a wonderful perk for the HK. It will make it shoot faster, considering the HK is such a slow shooter.
It's also powerful. The HK is just powerful as well, but it's like, now think about every single other weapon you pick up.
Right. If this was something that you could turn on and off strictly for the HK, it would probably be as good as being in the A tier. That's how good it would be, because it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful perk for the HK. But outside of the HK,
It has the same problem as the FAMAS and the Spectre, where you just like blink and like, oh, I'm out of ammo.
Yeah.
It turns that on for like every gun except for the HK.
And once you get into the higher rounds, you want to be conservative. Ammo is a sacred word once you get to wave 30.
So, yeah. Again, I don't think we have to debate about this.
No.
If you're gonna like, if someone in the comments is gonna say, why is this up here like 2025? Like, actually, you know what? This is the one I'm gonna do it for.
Oh gosh. Yes, please call it the new row.
It gets its own tier. Because how many times where we have played with players who just only play the video games and they don't understand just how fucking useful this is.
Or players that just don't want to get it for some reason. It literally increases your health. It increases your capability of getting down.
Like, it's one of those things where we have to emphasize its importance more to new players, and this is the best way we're gonna do it. So it's gonna get its own tier.
Yeah, and you will see the higher round players, regardless if it's us or anybody else. Juggernaut's the reason why they were able to jump out of situations and not die. They got triple swiped and they were able to run out of there because they still had enough health up because of Juggernaut.
So it's essential. Like when you see like top players playing this map on War Player, where after they get down, immediately, no matter what they're doing on the top floor, They bolt down to Juggernog. They take the risk and everything.
Yeah, Juggernaut. Yeah, Juggernaut. No matter what you do, Juggernaut's a must. You run to it. Even if you're down to the point where you have to restart from scratch because you died in a round, you start over in the new round. If it's getting a weapon or getting Juggernaut, you get Juggernaut. That's how serious it is.
So good. Like, please, if you're a new player, stop sleeping on it.
And also, just one last thing to add about Juggernaut.
Sure.
Consider this with Juggernaut. Even if you're in that situation where you started in the new round and you only have enough points for Juggernaut, you buy it and you run around with somebody. If they down, you could be the reason why you can get them back up. You're able to revive them, and if the zombie triple slice you as you're reviving them and they get back up, they're up again, and that could be the reason why you continue in this game.
Granted, there's going to be times where you have to think about whether or not doing that or like doing that and sticking with the starting pistol is good, but most instances it justified its own unique tier. Mule Kick.
Ooh.
Oh.
It's not bad, it's just too expensive for what it offers.
I think it should just be in the middle of the tier list.
Yeah, I agree with it. It's a very mid perk. It will do its job. It is nice to have a third gun, but the biggest downside is 4K and you down, you lose it.
And that's doubly... that sucks if you pack a punch that third weapon. That's like, that's down 9,000 points at most down the drain.
And the worst part is, if it's your two primary weapons you're down with, you lose one of those instead. So you lose the weapon you're down with.
Yeah, so. Alright, so, quick revive. If this was single player, this would be going in the Juggernaut tier, but this is not single player. This is more focused on multiplayer.
Yeah, I would give it a top of G.
I think maybe here.
On top of G because it doesn't really serve a purpose. Or bottom of F if you want to keep it that way, but
yeah,
bottom of F, yeah, it's good. It's just
I don't feel comfortable putting it in the same tier as double tap because it's not bad.
Yeah,
it's also the cheapest one.
Its biggest downfall is whenever you decide you're going to need that perk. There's other ways to get that person up. By the time that perk even becomes viable to use, there's just other ways.
It's something that's nice to have in the back pocket.
Yeah, like I would say, like if you just want a fourth perk and you're like, oh, I really don't know what to get, it's a good perk to get.
All right, quick reload.
Oh,
yeah,
no, I would put that in the scroll up there. I would put it at the bottom of the A tier.
Bottom of A?
Yep, it is a really good perk. It's essential. Actually, it's actually really essential. I'd actually scratch that at the top of A tier.
So you think Haste Cola is at the top of A tier?
Yep. Now, my reason on it, every single weapon you see here, well, every weapon that's viable for the high rounds, will need that. If there's one thing you're going to get besides Juggernaut, it is quick speed cola.
So fast Dota is at the top of A. Got it.
It is needed. It is the only other perk you could like. If there are perks you need to use and justify using, Juggernaut and Speed Cola.
That's it.
Those are the two perks you need. Those are the two perks that you will be fine. And they're relatively both inexpensive. The Speed Cola being what, 25, 2.5, no 3K.
3,000. It is the most expensive. It is like the second most expensive one next to Mule Kick, but
it is wonderful.
Yeah. Electric Trap.
Oh, you know that's not even an answer.
I'm not putting it above this year, but it's fair. It's the only way you can actually kill. Past round 40, this is the only way you are actually killing most of your zombies.
Yeah, there's not much else to kill besides this. And it's relatively low cost, like 1,000.
Like, it's like, oh, the MPL is right next to it. Oh, I can use my entire MPL buy to get more ammo for my MPL and electric and have more leftovers. That's how that strat's going.
I always kind of wish we could put a circle around the two because the MPL and the electric trap are just like I know we were say two sides of the same coin. You kind of want to work they actually need each other to work. It's one of those situations where the trap works well and the MPL works well, but they work better together. And in the high rounds, you need the other to work. If you don't have the MPL, the trap is viable to lose the money. But if you don't have the money, you need the MPL. They need each other to work.
But they work like so well. It's like, yeah. All right, now we're into the PAP weapons.
Ooh, spicy old PAP weapons.
This starting off with probably, I want to say the second best one. I think it's here.
Yeah, I agree. Has a bit more splash damage than the ray gun, so that's the reason why it's there.
Biggest problem too. Besides that, it's like, it's also it's got a little bit of the FAMAS syndrome where it's like you blink and you're out of ammo.
Yeah, but it is the good thing about it. If you have 5,000 points, you just came back to life. You can PAP your starter pistol, and you have a viable weapon for yourself. That is what keeps it up here. Nothing that keeps it up here is the next best thing. The next best thing having the rocket launcher.
Yeah, we'll actually, yeah, it's like a third best PAP, but we'll get to the rocket launcher real soon.
Oh gosh, the rocket launcher.
We're gonna get into a bit of a gray area. I don't. You're probably not as familiar with these as I am, and I'm not as familiar with them. So you got to consider, you're spending 5,000 on this, and for these wall weapons coming up, you're also paying 5,000 for each time you want to get ammo for them. So. All right, so PAP M14. I think it's worse. Just for what I said, the damage upgrade you get on it doesn't trade off the fact that you're paying 5,000 for a restock on ammo, and it falls off. So
I agree 100% with this. It is only good because it has upgraded damage. Other than that, there's just nothing I can say about it.
Also, any bad thing we say about the wall weapon, if it's in a bad spot, it's doubly bad because of this. So
I've played these wall weapon guns before, so I'm pretty aware of them too. Like I won't sit here and say like, oh, I don't know nothing about it at all. I know some people will be like, well, if you don't know nothing about it, then how can you rate it?
It's like we don't use them because we know they're bad. PAP MPL.
I would put it in the. I would give it the bottom of C, or maybe the bottom of B, because
this is actually one where you actually may have a reason to use it and reason to pay that 5,000.
Yeah, if you're at a really high round and you're in the 100K mark, why not PAP it and have a bit stronger of a gun? Not the worst thing in the world.
I also think the headshot bonus, it has a higher headshot bonus versus the regular one, so...
You know what, I would almost give it the bottom of B, just considering that like if you're in a snafu situation, you need to run off the first floor and you haven't PAP'd already, once you're in the high rounds, it's still viable. It can at least be used to kill zombies.
Just, again, you have to actually be making money and doing well to get to afford the ammo buy.
Right.
So
again, we're talking for someone that does have 100K plus points. I wouldn't say that this is the weapon to get in that situation. If you're at 20K points, you will definitely see how fast you lose your money.
PAP MP5K. This also applies to some weapons as well. They don't change as often. They don't get like any differences to them. So PAP MP5K falls into that camp. So where is the regular one? Yeah, it's definitely not as high.
There you go. It's right next to the perk right there. Above you. Yep.
I don't think it's here. I honestly put it here.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, you're just asking what I thought you were asking what the MP5 whatever it was. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with that. I don't disagree at all.
It's like it's the same thing. It's the location stuff, and it's also you're paying 5,000 for it, and in that same room you have this. So
you gotta consider the 5,000 cost to get. That's the biggest downfall for most of these PAP weapons.
The M63. This is dual wield, but it still has the same issues. And you actually, since again, no headshot bonus.
I agree. Wherever you put it, I agree. Have nothing to say about this weapon.
Honestly, it might be here.
Didn't even know it was dual wielded, to be honest. Never used it.
It might actually be worse than this.
Yeah. Any dual wield that costs 5,000 isn't gonna be worth it in this situation. You need the PM63 is one of those guns that you're using it for the headshot bonus, or just the fact that you can get some kind of points out of it. But when it's dual wielded, you're not gonna be able to get consistent points because it's not really just a shoot from the hip situation. So no.
PAP Stakeout. I think it's just right here. It's not
Agreed.
that much different.
It's just you're paying 5,000 for some of the weapons. So agreed. Completely agreed.
PAP AK74u.
I would put it.
I think it's here.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's like
100% fair.
it's slightly better, but it's slightly better. It's not game-changingly better.
Yeah.
Now this thing, I think it goes here.
See, I have a lot of bias for this. You've seen me use this at Wave 36.
You got us to Wave 36 using this.
This is all of a bias thing. It's a really good weapon. I would put it in the middle of A tier, just because of what it can do for you. Again, this is more of a bias for someone that kind of will use the pig room at high rounds.
Where in A? Like, is it better than the regular version?
Yeah, because it can viably get headshot kills at Wave 32, as I actually saw recently.
Yep. So, I think it's here.
Okay.
I think that's the best spot for it.
Actually, I would put it above the. Is that Speed Cola over there? I'd put it
this
above
is
Speed Cola.
Yeah.
Just mostly because it really is it doesn't pull off. And considering that if you pick up that weapon, again, a lot of bias to the fact that as long as you know how to aim this weapon or anything like that, you will get the points. There's been plenty of times where I pick up this weapon, paid the 5,000 for the ammo count because of it being PAP. I was able to pretty much just break even every time. I would kill the zombies enough to bring back the 5k I just spent. So it really will just you won't lose or gain points, but you'll break even, and I think that's fine.
It also has the grenade launcher thing, which is really nice. That is genuinely something that's useful. So
it is forbidden to be used, therefore do never do that. You will down yourself. Believe me when I tell you the splash damage is crazy.
But it's still strong. Like it's strong to you, and it's also strong to the zombies. So
pro tip: if you're gonna use the grenade launcher, use it when you're about to leave the PAP room. It is a room clear. It's pretty good for that.
Yep. So PAP CZ. I think we can just make this simple with these two and just put them slightly below the regular ones.
Yeah, agreed.
Same with this.
Yep.
But it's like for these two, they are fully auto, which is actually worse.
Yeah, but at least they have some viability to them. At least the single CZ. Yeah. I would. This is one of the rare situations where I'd put it below even its counterpart because you're paying 5,000 to have something worse. I'd put it at the bottom. I put it below the snipers because they're just never like you're barely gonna get that grenade launcher. So if you get to a point where you're gonna pop it, no, sorry.
All right. Yeah, speaking of weapons, we don't really gotta argue, but probably have to explain maybe the new players a bit.
I would put it in S tier. I'd put the bomb in S tier.
I think it's here.
You know what? Yeah, sorry, you're right.
Actually, you know what?
I completely agree with that.
Actually, I'm gonna be controversial.
Yeah. I actually don't disagree.
Like, it's monkeys.
It's 12 monkeys. A bit slower, a bit less. It's 3 seconds versus I think the 10 seconds monkey gives you, but
it's monkeys.
It's needed. The only downside to this weapon, I mean the only downside, it's a slow ammo count. That's the only downside to this weapon.
There's another downside. Only one player. Like it shares this with the ballistic knife, but only one player can have it. So
yeah, that's a downside, but that was like a realistic downside because that was never not a thing that it wasn't.
Alright, this is where we're getting into Fun Town.
Oh yes, these praise these weapons.
Again, gotta talk about this because probably not a lot of new players are gonna know about it. But yeah,
I put it at the bottom of double S. It's done us really good.
Alright, so let's talk about this weapon. Let's explain this weapon, because, like, 15 years of playing zombies, we still have people just asking, why the fuck would you PAP this? And, like, why the fuck is this gun so good? Why is this being so good enough to drag this up to A? So it is the strongest weapon in the game. Strongest. Like, the only thing that's on this tier list that beats it is just the nuke, but that's just because of how the nuke works. When you pack a punch this thing, as Doc alluded to earlier, you have 10 rockets in that one rocket in that one clip, that one rocket that you reload into it.
That's something that we noticed very recently with it. It makes your walk speed very fast. For a rocket launcher, you will be thrown back.
The big thing is that with this thing, you walk as fast as you would with the pistol.
We have a comparison we made recently where we had one player with the regular rocket launcher and another player with the LAW, which is aiming for the top.
Well, they're both called LAW, but
yeah, yeah.
We know what we're talking about.
Yeah. We had a race and the PAP version beats it easily.
It destroyed it
in a walking race because we gotta have the understanding here that your walk speed means a lot in this game because you're not always able to sprint. And this rocket will save you.
It also just the ammo count for again the strongest. This is the strongest weapon you can get. You get like 60 of these rockets, and
40. Correction for that.
40.
Yeah,
but still.
Well, technically 50. Technically chamber 40 on.
Yeah, so 50 rockets. You get 50 rockets, and again, it's the strongest weapon. The splash damage on this thing is ridiculous. Like, it covers, like, I think it covers from, like, the end of the stairs all the way up to, like, the midsection. Like, it covers that general range, like, the lowest part of the stairs to, like, the halfway point. The halfway point on the stairs. But it's huge, like, the splash damage on this.
And believe me, if you start off as someone as a casual player, you will look at this gun and say, what a terrible gun, I will never use it. We used to do that ourselves. We used to think, oh, the rocket launcher? Absolutely not. Get that garbage out of here. There's no ammo in it. Why would I even want to use it? And plus, when it's not PAP, you have to aim down the sights and then shoot. Terrible gun. Garbage, garbage, garbage. We would have put it in the poop list. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
But we gave it a chance, and
you need it. Like, the only thing that you can even remotely say bad about it is that it doesn't do points. It doesn't do.
Actually, I can't even say it doesn't do points because it does. I get points with it. The splash damage does enough to get you points. It actually gets you points.
The problem is that you have to stack that with also the ammo count. Like, again, compared to like all the other weapons that are doing what it does, it's probably the weakest overall. But it's like, there's a reason why it's above the PAP pistol and the regular ray gun. Like, that's all I'll say.
Honestly, if it was a wall gun, I think it would get its own tier like Juggernog. That's how good it would be.
I think it would move up above the crossbow, but I don't think that. Like, this double S tier, I want everyone like watching this to understand. Like, the gap between these weapons here is as big as the gap the gap between the top where the gap between these weapons is massive. Like, these are all really good guns, but they really just start dwarfing each other at some points.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So yeah, PAP rocket launcher, monumentally good. I don't know why I really even made these two like separate ones. They're kind of the same, but yeah, PAP Bowie Knife. Sorry, PAP Ballistic Knife with Bowie Knife attachment.
I would put the PAP Ballistic Knife with the Bowie Knife attachment into the A list, above the M16. Now, the reason why I would say the one with the Bowie Knife is good, it does a lot of damage. I think you can get to the high waves and you can get a 4 hit. I think in the high 20s, it's a 3-hit weapon.
Yeah, but you have to also be mindful of your teammates as well.
Yeah, and what makes it so good is it being PAP. I'm sure everyone knows this, but every Ballistic Knife you shoot will be able to revive a down player
instantly,
which is really good.
Like you can revive people from across the map, and I know you've done that before.
I have. It is the best feeling in the world. It is so fun. No, it's definitely a good skill to pick up. If you're one of those people that kind of want to have like a little fun skill to pick up, this is it. It will bring back your teammates. Your teammates will appreciate you being able to get them up from across the room. Because now you gotta consider your teammates down across the room, the zombies are no longer paying attention. You shoot them back up for that 1 second, once they're across the room, they have a couple seconds to at least get their breath and run away. Especially since the zombies won't give them a mic for about 2 seconds, especially when they're tired of them.
I think maybe they both should just go up into here. Maybe. I think that might. You think that's a bit much, or?
I don't disagree. I never really used the unpapped version because we kind of used the Bowie Knife. But the unpapped, not the unpapped version, but the non-Bowie Knife version. But it's still good because it still gets its.
It still does it. It's just less damaging melee attack.
Yeah.
So.
And if you're at a point where you pick it up out of the box and you don't have enough to get a Bowie Knife, but you have enough to pap it, I would pap it. It's fantastic. It's actually needed in certain ways.
Problem is that it is just a support weapon.
Yeah, just support weapons. Not really offensive weapons, but good support weapons in the highways. There's a really good strat where if you're in the 3rd floor, once you're sitting in the polio room strat, you kind of need it because if JFK downs, you have a fast way of getting him right back up.
So it's just strong, very strong. Oh.
This is one of the situations where I think it might be worse than even. I don't even think it justifies going below it. I think it justifies going to the bottom.
I don't think it's like directly the bottom because you can kill something with this. I think it's just below this.
The problem is you need to purchase it to kill something with.
Yeah, but you can say that about these two. Like this is actually able to kill something unlike the other ones.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Now where are the PAP? I think we can make this simple with the LMGs. Just maybe keep them here.
Agreed. Not much to say about them. We know what the LMGs are. Everybody knows what the LMGs are.
They're not like a dramatic increase above the regular version. It's like, again, a newer player will say, that's cap. It's like, you get so much ammo. And it's like, it doesn't change what the weapon is doing. And it doesn't fix the weapon's flaws.
That, and also, guys, I understand. One thing I will say about this pro tip is not awe-inspiring to own these weapons. They are not that great. They'll feel awe-inspiring when you have both LMGs. They fall really, really fast after wave 20.
They're up again. They do something. Like they wouldn't be up here. They wouldn't. If they were truly terrible, they'd be in the doo-doo like dungeon with the Spectre. But they're not. They're not game changing.
Yeah, they're not game changing, but they are not going to be the reason why you lose a game. But they're not going to be the reason why you win a game either.
All right, so Spaz. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever seen this thing that much.
I would put it below. It's one of those situations where it goes below. You're paying $5,000 to kind of use essentially the same gun. If you get to a point where you're able to pop that shotgun, it's really just a worse version of the gun you already have. Because considering you're paying $5,000 for it, you don't have a way to get ammo for it.
Oh, we got another fun one coming up.
Oh boy.
This might actually be above these two.
Yeah. Strictly for the damage and the dual wielding. Agreed. Yeah.
So, those of you who don't know, the HS10 in real life has a warning. It is bossed into the metal of the gun, saying, "Do not hold it from this side. This is where the ammo ejects out. If you fire it from this side of your body, a hot ammo cartridges will fly into your face." It says this on the real life weapon, and it also says this on the in-game model. I shit you not. But in their infinite wisdom, they made the dual wield version. They made the pack-a-punch version of this weapon the fucking dual wield version.
They looked at this and they said rules don't apply to the converse.
This is like strictly like not related to how good the gun is. It's stupid like Call of Duty stuff. This is the FN fail.
Not much to say about it.
Yeah.
Put it where you want. Continue on.
I'll put it here. Yeah.
Sometimes there's guns that are just bad and just You just know there's just not much to say about it. Same
Uh,
with G11.
I think it's better than its regular version just because it's full auto.
Agreed. Yeah.
It's not like it's not. That doesn't make it better than the Stakeout. It doesn't make it better than a wall weapon.
Nothing to write home about. It serves its purpose.
Commando.
I would put it above the AK74u, and I'll tell you why.
Regular AK74u.
No, it's a PAP one.
Oh, okay.
It's got dual wield clip. It reloads very fast, and if you stack that with speed cola, it's a very fast loading gun.
Well, actually, the AK74u also has that, I think.
Oh, you know what? I don't know if you're correct about that. I've never popped it, but
They're very competitive guns.
yeah. I'm the M16 guy, unfortunately. I know it's on the same floor in the same area, but I'm the M16 guy.
Yeah, I think this is fine. I'm not going to argue it. I think the M16 V where it is perfectly fine. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So,
We know where that belongs. In the trash. More than brash, more like belongs in the trash.
yeah. I'll put it here.
The only thing I can say about this gun is probably
It has all the same problems as FAMAS, only that now you spent 5,000 on it, and you're gonna run out of ammo probably even faster because I think the rate of fire on it is faster.
just hearing that thing shoot hurts my ears. I just hate it. It just sounds like money blown away.
The AUG. It has the shotgun attachment. I think that's fine. I think it just yeah.
We talked about this too, that it actually becomes its own viable shotgun, funny enough.
Yeah, so. Ray gun PAP. I think it's just it's just next to the ray gun. It's not like dramatic.
I would give it the bomb, at least with the bomb of double S. It's viable, it's needed. The bomb of double S.
It's like we talk about this a lot when we play with random players too with the ray gun. It's just like consider the pack-a-punch just a max ammo.
Yep. That's exactly correct.
Okay, 5,000 max ammo.
The ray gun is just a 5,000 max, like he said. It's just a 5,000 max ammo, nothing more, nothing less. It is good, but do not pop it early. It is strictly your wave 30 to 35 max ammo. If it comes to a point where you are wave 32 and you have nothing left in your ray gun, go pop it. There you go, max ammo.
The only other suggestion, the only other scenario, again, this is outside of the tier. This is outside of like high rounds. It's just like speed running, just getting to the game faster. But
I would put the PAP ray gun above the rocket launcher just because of its.
It also does less splash damage. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and it holds on longer than the rocket does. The rocket does fall because of the fact that it's low ammo count.
All right, so we got a little ahead of ourselves. The PAP Galil. Ooh. We're gonna put this. Where? Okay, I think it goes here.
I put it at the bottom of best tier. It's a good gun.
Yeah, I think it earns that.
Yeah. Russ has a lot of bias to the Galil, so believe me when I tell you, if somebody's giving them a.
I'm honestly, I think this is better. Below the PAP M16.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't. It's one real big problem is you can't get more ammo for it, so I agree with that.
Also, the M16 does the explosive thing is useful on it.
Oh, a little cool tidbit about this, forgot to mention earlier. The real life Galil has a bottle opener on it, so plus for that.
The sight thing, the little circle, that is a bottle opener that you see every time. But to talk more about the Galil, so this is what we were saying about the LM. This is basically a better RPK, the PAP Galil. So it comes with more ammo than the regular RPK. It is a lighter gun. The ADS is faster, and it does more damage. So, yeah.
Perfectly said.
All right, PAP 3's gun. That's the last regular weapon, because then we got the death machine and the drops.
I
think we can just make it simple and put it
agreed.
here.
Agreed. Completely agreed. It's better than its non-pop version, but you will not know what's the difference.
Maybe even here. This is fine.
Funny enough about that weapon, it's one of those weapons where you'll have to always ask, is it PAP or is it not PAP? Because it doesn't make any sounds, any distinct differences since it's not PAP version.
It's just stronger.
Yeah, it's just stronger. Yeah, when I say like no difference, I just mean like the appearance. Well, the appearance is different, but the sounds are not different. As you can tell, every other gun usually has like a laser sounding sound when it gets PAP. It's one of those rare situations where it still blows out frost either way, so it's one of those guns you have to question, is it PAP or is it not PAP?
It's like also just again to like probably see people in the comments talking about this, like why is, if it's only just stronger, why is it a whole tier above? Because it's doing something unique and it's able to do that unique thing better than its regular variant. Like it's slowing down the zombies.
And same concept as the ray gun, kind of. PAP it for a max ammo. Don't PAP it just to PAP it.
Alright. Now
Ooh,
I get
the
into
fun
the
part.
goofy shit.
The fun stuff.
So this is gonna be really difficult to rank, I'll be honest. But we're just gonna focus on like ranking these on priority.
You know what? I would give it the bottom of C tier because it's viable. It stays viable for a while, to round 25. It will make your points. It is a temporary LMG.
People don't understand. It's like this is not an instant kill, and it has problems. Like you slow down significantly. Worse than it is worse than the regular rocket launcher.
Please, players, please. This is not an awe-inspiring drop to get. This will not be all stable situation, especially if you're in the higher rounds. In the higher rounds, it really becomes one of those things. Give it to the guy with the lowest amount of points. Let him get some points.
Let him tickle the zombies for a little bit. And it literally feels like it's doing that the later round.
And just consider while you're using this, you cannot revive your players. You cannot pick up weapons from the box.
You also don't get any max ammo when you're carrying this. Like if someone collects a max ammo and you're carrying this, it doesn't transfer over to you.
So yeah, it has its real big problems that really make it. Honestly, giving a C is pretty generous.
It gives points, a lot of points, and believe it or not, I think it does actually get the headshot bonus.
Yeah, the only reason why it's up here is because it gets points. It does nothing besides get points. Only good thing to say about this thing.
Bonfire Sale.
For me, an easy A, top of the A tier list situation.
Like, I think this and the Fire Sale are just gonna be like neck and neck with each other, but like the Fire Sale, I think it's just slightly more useful.
Yeah, being that the Fire Sale is much more consistent, it would get top of A, 100% top of A.
You think it's like more like relevant to get than like a PAP like a M16?
Yeah, because it pops it from 1,000. So.
Gotta remember too. It also, yeah, I'm just remember too. It affects all players. It isn't just like the one person. So, we cannot. It's not. It's like
bottom of G. Yeah, it's just. It's not gonna be the reason why you win or lose the match.
So I gotta explain this again, but we found out the cycles for the power-up drops, like the max ammo, the Insta Kill, the nuke. This is the only one that doesn't drop. This one drops more randomly until you grab it. Like after you grab this, your chances of getting a more important power-up are significantly reduced because this is added to like the same cycle as the other ones. Once it happens, when you first grab it, it'll start appearing more often, which is bad. It's really bad.
Trash.
So
it just doesn't get pooped because at least it functions as a put your barriers back up. That it just really does nothing other than that. It's just not to be pooped.
It gives you 500 points too as well, which is, I guess, it's a little pittance. Fire Sale.
Fire Sale. Above Bonfire Sale, just because it's more consistent.
I think it probably goes here.
Okay, I can agree with that. 10 points for a gun. How can you? I mean, yeah, it's a gamble, but honestly,
it also goes again just like the Bonfire Sale. It goes for all players, and there are probably going to be more situations where this is a little bit more useful.
I've even seen times where people are willing to take it down to try to hit that box with Bonfire Sale. To be fair, everything on the list can be taken out of that box with Bonfire Sale. So you spend 10 points to get an HK, 10 points to get Monkey, 10 points to get Ray Gun. It's a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, I completely agree. Max ammo. There was another one here before. I don't know what happened with that.
Oh, interesting. About you just put an instant kill.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk about it. It disappeared. It went where it needed to go. So, speaking of that, I think this one's also gonna go in the same location, right? You know, ain't nothing much to argue.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Winding it down. The last two. Nuke.
So Nuke is a really funny perk. It's a really not perk. It's a really funny power up. It's one of those things where you want to avoid using it in the beginning because you kind of want to get the points, and then you only want to touch it when the round's about to be over. But when it comes to high rounds, it's a really nice. It's almost like in a weird way, it's almost like the trap because it kind of just instantly kills everything around you. So it's kind of like just a little bit more consistent trap.
Yeah, I think maybe here is where it should go.
It's fair to put it there because it is one of those things where when you first see this thing, you're like, oh god, I don't even want to look at this thing. Please get it away from me. But round 30, you're like, please, if you can grab it and take it, please. Please.
You know, I think the same can be said about this. I think this is better than the Nuke. I think it's going in the same tier, though.
I agree with that because it is giving you points. And cool thing about it, if you get that double points and then get the nuke, you will get double points in the nuke that you get. So that's kind of interesting.
Same goes with the Insta Kill, you know, yeah. And you know, same goes for Carpenter.
Carpenter, just enough not to be cool.
I think this is it, though. I think that this is a pretty solid list. I'm pretty happy with it. You know, this middle section is probably like people are gonna be like, why is it like so like small? But it's like these weapons down here. There's such a significant gap, and these weapons here, like they're in between. Like
yeah, they're not bad, but they're not good enough to say they're great, but they're not bad enough to say that they deserve to go to D tier.
Yeah, like there's a significant gap where these like smaller tiers are. Like again, getting back to like the top tiers, like significant gaps between all of these. All of these are like significant gaps, and these weapons here, they're falling in between these significant gaps between these tiers. So yeah, I think we laid out our points pretty efficient, like eloquently. What do you think?
I agree. I think this is a really fair tier list. If anyone has any suggestions, more than happy to listen to them. Keep it cordial in the comments. We definitely don't want toxicity, but we definitely want suggestions. We're always open to suggestions. There's always better points to be made.
You know, if you got any like experience with these weapons too, like yeah, you know, feel free to leave a comment. Like we always want to hear. Like again, getting back to the rocket launcher situation, we didn't know about that until like a couple of years ago. We were playing this game for like 15 years and know about it. So for all we know, the sniper rifle can just be like an insta kill weapon on 5. So you know.
And hey, listen, there might be someone out there who has a bias with Olympia. Maybe they're like Olympia is the reason they made it to wave 37. So
we like plenty of stories like that. But you know, hey, if you got any opinions, feel free to leave in the comments. If you like the video, if you like these kind of discussions, you know, maybe subscribe to the channel. That would definitely encourage us to do more of these, or maybe talk more about the game in detail. But yeah, appreciate you guys sticking through this. This was like a really long discussion.
Oh yes.
And we're a bit pooped. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you in our next stream or our next video. Bye for now.